Hi everyone, it's Kate from the Fold Line. I am back this week with the edit. I hope you had a nice week and you've done a bit of sewing this weekend. Feeling like, I don't know, it feels nice. It's definitely got a bit warmer in the UK this week and yeah, feeling a bit spring-like. So I've got some good stuff this week. We've got a new designer on site which we are all seriously pumped about. Yeah, maybe I'll start with her. So she's called Vivian Xiaochen. I'm sure many of you have heard of her before or you've made her patterns already. She's a US-based designer. She's actually an interior architect, so designs homes as well as doing sewing patterns. And she's got 7 patterns in total. They are beautiful. They are essentially, I think I would like all of them. They work really nicely as a capsule wardrobe. They're all quite, you kind of wear them with each other. Really nice and understated. I'll show you some pictures so you can get an idea of the patterns. Sizing, they're PZF only. Sizing on them, they vary by pattern, so just double check. But roughly a kind of UK 6 to 34. Some of them have a smaller size range, but most of them are sort of this. She also cuts with different bust cups as well, so the sizing split into 2 on quite a few of them, and a smaller sizing has a B cup and the large sizing has a D cup. So yeah, we're really excited about them. So I'm going to talk you through a couple of them. The first one is the one that I am, well, I don't know, I just really like all of them. This is called the Nephilim Blouse. It's absolutely beautiful if you haven't seen it. If I show you the line drawing, you can see what's going on. There are 2 different variations. So there's a kind of higher round neckline and a slightly lower cut one with a ruffle sewn on, buttons down the front, beautiful pleat detail on the sleeve, which I think just really elevates the whole blouse. They're just gorgeous. They're quite roomy cut as well, so they're kind of designed to be kind of really comfortable. But both of these are just, for me, like perfection. I am going to say this, I am going to make this. I'm going to make this. I'm going to sew something, which I haven't done for a long time. This blouse is just perfect. They're such like classic shapes. They'll be really useful for your wardrobe. I think I will probably do the high neck one without the ruffle, because yeah, I think that would work better with items I've already got. But yeah, I just think they're really beautiful. Another one that I think you guys will really love is the Terra Dress. So it's a very simple shirt dress. Again, it's quite a relaxed fit. There's an option with it to have a belt. You can put your patch pockets. It's got slits at the side. Lots of nice details. You can see there's some gathering on the shoulder for this pattern. It's just really beautiful. There's a really lovely simple summer dress called the Orchid Dress. You can see that it's got buttons down the front. It's like gathered. There's a little kind of, like a tier of gathering at the bottom of it. And there's an expansion as well if you wanted to add sleeves for this. There's a really lovely the Lawrence top, which is 2 different tops. You're actually kind of getting 2 totally different patterns. Really nice, simple. There's a beautiful jacket. I love the Daphne jacket. The trousers are also great, like slightly tapered, elasticated waist, pleat at the front. But can you see now when I'm kind of putting them all together, they all would work really nicely together. Like the bisque trousers and the Lawrence top would look really lovely together. You then put the Daphne jacket over the top of that. They're just like, they're all sort of interchangeable and I really love them. So we are so excited to have them on the site and I hope you guys love them as much as us. So go and have a check out. I'll pop all the links to each of the patterns below so you can kind of go and have a proper look, and I'll put a link so you can see them all together as well. But they're really great and we're really pumped about having them. So next up we have got 3 patterns from Puff and Pencil. They all, I will say, they are, I think I've spoken about them before, they sell all of their patterns as like separate components and we're selling them as a bundle so you can buy it as sort of one whole thing. It's kind of weird, but once you get into their mind space of it, you kind of get it. So what we've got this time is a zipped up vest. I really like this because it's got seam lines running down, so it's got princess seams on it. So, which means you can get it really nice and fitted if you want. It's got a high neckline, zip up, very, very 90s, which I'm quite liking. And then there are 2 other patterns if you wanted to add sleeves. So they're basically just different sleeve types. So make sure you have, look, there's a 2-piece sleeve and a 1-piece sleeve. But that with the 1-piece sleeve or the 2-piece, having something that's sleeved with a zip up with the high neck is so 90s and so in at the moment, so I thought that one was definitely worth mentioning. They're PDF only, and the sizing on these is a UK 6 to 24, but just make sure you pick the right bundle that you're after. If you're thinking about deciding between the sleeveless version of the sleeve, I'd get the one with the sleeve, because then you've got that as an added option. It adds a few more options. So yeah, I would just say those things are of note. Right, so next up we have got the How to Do Fashion Verona skirt. I really like this actually. So they specialise in sort of vintage style patterns. I actually think that this doesn't feel super vintage. It's just got interesting details. So let me show you the line drawing. There are 2 variations. The first one definitely looks more vintage to me. It's got buttons down the front. It's got this really interesting, the thing that I love about it is this interesting seam detail. So you can see that slanted seam, which have pockets in, that goes all the way down to the bottom of the skirt. Then there are tabs, really nice kind of statement tabs with a little kind of arrow at the bottom that go around the top of the skirt as a belt loop. Just nice details. The second variant, which feels, it's much more pared back, but this feels to me much more modern. It doesn't look, you wouldn't think that it's like a vintage inspired pattern. And I really like what they've done with it. You can see that they've got this really striking green version with a kind of white T running down the front of the skirt. There are loads of interesting things that I think you could do with playing with different fabrics, colour blocking. There's quite a lot of things that you could get stuck into here. I will say, I forgot to say, that it looks like that on the first one with the buttons down the front that it is a fly fronted skirt. It doesn't actually, it's got a zip up the back, so that's worth noting. But yeah, I just thought it was quite an interesting shape and really nice kind of details on it. So last but not least, we've got 2 patterns from Sew Over It. The first one is the Selena Skirt, and I wish we'd had this up last week because I could have included it in our trends post. So it's a bias cut, really simple skirt, very much on trend for this season. I potentially, as I was talking about in the trends thing, cut it slightly longer if you want it to be very much that sort of midi length is very much in for this season. But yeah, really nice simple skirt, cut on the bias, really slinky. I really like these. Unfortunately, they do not suit my body shape at all. But if they did, I would definitely make them. So last but not least, we've got the Margot dress from Sew Over It. This is PDF only. It comes in sizes UK 6 to 32. I will say the other pattern comes in that size too. Let me just double check. I think it does. Up to a 32. Sorry, I should have said that. This dress is quite interesting if I show you the line drawing. So there are 2 variations. It's got raglan sleeves. It's got really lovely vintage, those sort of vintage French darts that come up from the waist. And it's got this particular sort of angle on it that makes it the French dart. So they're quite big sort of extreme darts, which I really like. And then there are little darts at the waist as well. So it's slightly flared. There are 2 different sleeve options. There's a kind of quite big exaggerated flared sleeve. And then there's a sleeve which I think is the much more interesting one. It's the one that has got a pleat in it, so it tapers down. I'll show you the 2 different styles so you can see. I personally prefer the dress proportions with the second sleeve option, the sort of slightly more fitted sleeve. I think the wider sleeve, I think either it's, I can't work out whether the sleeve is like slightly too long or whether it should be slightly shorter, but I prefer that sort of slightly more fitted sleeve. I think it works better with the dress. But the shape is really nice. I haven't seen a release, this sort of shape of dress release for ages actually. and I like it actually cut a bit shorter, but it actually would be quite a useful item for your wardrobe. So that is available if you like that. That's it from me this week. I hope you are well, and I will be back soon with another video. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Bye.